She's basically the LeBron James. The kind of hype that LeBron came into the NBA with, Caitlin Clark came to the WNBA with the same type of hype. And she's backed it up.
Caitlin Clark changed the WNBA. It's okay. It's okay to say that. You're not diminishing what the founding, fathers of the WNBA did. You're not.
Caitlin Clark is doing more than just making waves. She's got basketball royalty talking. From Shaquille O'Neal and Larry Bird to even Michael Jordan, legends of the game are paying close attention. But the praise that hits deepest, it comes from Allen Iverson. Iverson says Clark reminds him of himself, and that's no small compliment. He sees that same fire, that fearless energy, and the ability to make defenders look completely lost. She scores when she wants, plays with swagger, and brings a streetball edge to the pro court. Just like AI in his prime, she might not be the biggest or strongest on the floor, but her talent speaks louder than size ever could. Clark earns respect through precision, poise, and raw skill, and Iverson's not shy about it. He believes she's just getting started. According to him, the best is yet to come.
Man, shoot the blood out of the ball. You know what I mean? I never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? And then just how aggressive she is, and not just scoring in basketball, getting her teammates involved as well. I think she's so great for the game.
Allen Iverson sees something familiar in Caitlin Clark, and it's not just her scoring, it's the attitude, the confidence, the way she controls the game without needing size or strength. Like Iverson, Clark plays with fire. She can pull up from the logo, thread impossible passes, or break defenders down one-on-one. And when she's on the court, all eyes are on her. Iverson's favorite part? She scores at will, and with style. Just like he used to, Clark makes defenders look lost. But more than talent, AI sees potential. He believes Clark is only getting started, and that she's about to reshape the future of the game.
Let me ask you about these WNBA players, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, who many are saying are the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the WNBA. Do you like that when you hear that?
I like it, and they are.
Iverson didn't stop at praise. He also issued a challenge. He made it clear that as Clark steps into the spotlight, her teammates have a duty to protect her. With her rising fame, she's bound to face even more physical play, trash talk, and targeted pressure from opponents trying to knock her off her game. Iverson knows what that kind of attention feels like. He lived it. And he's warning that as the league tests Clark, she'll need more than just her skills to survive. She'll need a team that has her back. Whether it's hard screens, cheap fouls, or attempts to get in her head, Iverson believes her teammates must be ready to step in, speak up, and keep the focus on the game, not the nonsense. Because stars like Clark shouldn't be left to fight those battles alone. In Iverson's words, greatness draws heat, but it should never stand unprotected.
Now, Caitlin, her teammates got to come to her defense.
Sure.
You can't allow her to have to fight every battle.
Now here's where things really take off, because the numbers behind Caitlin Clark's impact aren't just impressive, they're historic. Former NBA coach George Karl, a veteran of the game with decades of insight, made a bold comparison. He sees Caitlin Clark doing for the WNBA what Julius Dr. J. Irving once did for the ABA and NBA. That's not a casual compliment. It's a recognition of game-changing potential. And the numbers, they back him up loud and clear. Clark hasn't just brought attention to the Indiana Fever, she's brought in crowds bigger than some NBA teams. In fact, the Fever are drawing more fans than the Charlotte Hornets, Memphis Grizzlies, and Washington Wizards. That's not hype. That's measurable ticket scanning reality, and it's not just in Indiana. When the Fever go on the road, Caitlin Clark becomes the attraction the show fans don't want to miss. When they played the Atlanta Dream, attendance surged by a staggering 431%. In Washington, the Mystics welcomed a 301% jump in fans. The Minnesota Lynx, a solid 131% spike. Even in established big market cities like Los Angeles and Seattle, crowds jumped between 60% and 80% the moment Clark hit the court. These aren't normal rookie numbers. This is the kind of influence usually reserved for global superstars, and Clark isn't the only young phenom turning heads. Victor Wembanyama, the most hyped NBA prospect since LeBron James, watched Clark's rise with admiration. Wemby, who knows the weight of massive expectations, gave her a public nod after her sensational first year. He saw how she carried the pressure, led her team, and still delivered at an elite level. Just like Wemby, Clark ended her rookie season with a major statement, a unanimous Rookie of the Year win. No debate, no question, just dominance. 2 generational talents, 2 different leagues. One shared truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just living up to the hype. She's rewriting what's possible.
Victor, who's a WNBA player that inspires you, and what makes her stand out to you?
I think Caitlin Clark.
Finds Clark from the logo. Clark behind the back. Oh, it's Smith with the finish.
When she was in college, the only college player that I was really in awe of the game, you know.
Pulls it back, knocks it down.
I'm saying men and women's college basketball. She's probably the most impressive I've seen.
But maybe the most powerful praise of all came from someone who once stood on the other side of the court. LSU's head coach Kim Mulkey, fierce, competitive, and never one to hand out compliments lightly, had to face Caitlin Clark twice in the NCAA tournament, and after witnessing her brilliance up close, even she couldn't hold back admiration. Following Clark's jaw-dropping 41-point performance that knocked LSU out in the Elite Eight, Mulkey offered a line that said it all. "Thank goodness I don't have to see you anymore." That wasn't sarcasm. That was respect, earned the hard way. Because when a rival coach with championships under her belt admits relief at no longer facing you, it means one thing. You're the real deal.
I can describe it firsthand. Having played her 2 years in a row in the playoffs, she's a generational talent. She's a young lady that you just can't take your eyes off of when you watch her play. And I know all of Iowa is proud of her, as they should be.
Coming from a legendary coach like Kim Mulkey, that kind of praise is as real as it gets. And she's not the only one putting serious respect on Caitlin Clark's name. Enter Rashad McCants, former NBA player and Minnesota Timberwolves guard, who's been in Clark's corner since day one, from the moment she was taken as the number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft. McCants made it clear, Caitlin Clark is here to stay. While debates about MVPs and rankings swirled all season, McCants didn't hesitate. He spoke up loudly, saying, they're gonna respect her, whether they like it or not. And when Aja Wilson rightfully claimed the MVP award, McCants didn't use it as a moment to critique Clark. He used it to keep lifting her up. For him, this rookie year was never about awards. It was about the foundation Clark is building for the future. He said it from the jump, and he's still saying it now. This is only the beginning for Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin. And there's no shade to Angel. It's just what Caitlin has to face on a nightly basis of like them trying to stop
Number
her.
one on scattering.
Like
Yes.
She can't get equal opportunity as everyone else because then she would average. I think she would average 25, 26 a game because you're not trying to gear the scouting report to stop her. Like Angel Reese, I feel like they're not giving her as much of a strenuous assignment when it comes to scouting report because she's going to do what she does. She rebounds. It's hard to stop somebody.
But here's where the story takes an unexpected twist. Enter Charles Barkley. The Hall of Famer and Auburn legend isn't known for holding back, and when it comes to Caitlin Clark, he's got her back in a big way. Barkley has been watching Clark closely, not just her game, but how she carries herself under pressure, and he loves what he sees. The poise, the confidence, the way she plays with intensity but never loses her cool. That's the kind of presence Barkley respects, but he's also noticed something else creeping in. Jealousy. As Clark stepped into the WNBA spotlight, not everyone welcomed her with open arms. The criticism, the cold shoulders, the unnecessary roughness, Barkley sees it for what it is, and he's not having it. In classic Chuck fashion, he sent a blunt message to anyone throwing shade. Y'all need to leave that girl alone. Barkley's not just defending Clark, he's calling out the entire league to be better. Because when a rising star like Caitlin is putting in the work, lifting viewership and growing the game, the last thing she needs is resentment. In Barkley's eyes, Clark deserves support, not sabotage.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Even Hall of Famer Rick Barry stepped in, and he wasn't pulling any punches. When he heard the noise surrounding Caitlin Clark, Barry came out swinging in her defense. He made it clear, anyone downplaying her game simply isn't paying attention. Clark's talent, he said, isn't just real, it's elite, and it deserves respect. But Barry didn't stop at praise. He also raised a red flag about something more serious. player safety. With the way Clark has been targeted on the court, Barry believes the league must do more to protect her. The cheap shots, the hard fouls, he says they're unacceptable, especially for a player bringing this much attention and growth to the game. His message was simple and sharp: recognize the talent and protect the stars.
I think it's reprehensible what they're allowing some of these players. Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time for doing that. Man, think about it, y'all.
When Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce start buzzing about you on their podcast, you know you're doing something special. These two NBA champions have seen it all, and even they couldn't stop talking about Caitlin Clark. Garnett never won to hand. Out-compliments casually, dropped a line that turned heads. This is the first time in college basketball where I know more girls than guys. Think about that. Clark's game has shifted the spotlight so much, it's changed the conversation around the entire sport, and Garnett didn't stop there. He painted a picture of Clark's game in real-world terms, saying she could walk through any hood and get a bucket. In other words, her skills are universal. Whether it's a streetball court or an NBA arena, she can score, period. Garnett even went as far as to say she'd drop at least 10 points in a real NBA game because her shooting, her basketball IQ, and her handles are that good. Paul Pierce backed it all up, nodding in agreement, and they're not alone. Stephen A. Smith also threw his full support behind Caitlin Clark, not just for her game, but for who she is as a person. On his show, Smith spoke with conviction, highlighting how Clark hasn't just elevated herself, she's lifted up others too. He said it best: she looked out for everybody else. That's who Caitlin Clark is. That's why, white, black, or otherwise, that's why I call her a sister, because she looked out for the sisters and everybody else in between. Smith saw what many have come to recognize. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball phenomenon, she's a unifier, a leader, and someone who's changing the culture of the game, one play, one person, one powerful moment at a time.
Oh, by the way, still stupid, a Team USA to not have on a team. You want to grow women's basketball globally? How do you have an Olympics competition this year without Caitlin Clark on it? I called you fools then. And one of these days, you're going to fess up and admit we were damn fools for not having Caitlin Clark on the 2024 Team USA Olympic team.
What makes Caitlin Clark truly special is the way she plays. She pulls up from the logo without hesitation and threads passes that make jaws drop. Coaches say she's forcing defenses to adjust in ways they haven't since Steph Curry changed. The NBA. The numbers back it up. Clark's jersey became the top-selling rookie jersey in WNBA history. The Fever's social media exploded, drawing engagement on par with NBA teams. And when she's on TV, the ratings skyrocket. She's not just exciting fans, she's boosting the entire league. Merch sales are up, sponsors are showing more interest than ever. Some even say Clark has sped up the WNBA's growth by 5 to 10 years. Even Larry Bird, a legend in Indiana, says Clark has reignited the state's passion for basketball, and he loves how she honors the game's history. Kids everywhere are copying her game. Logo threes, quick releases, fearless energy. Coaches say both boys and girls are trying to play like Caitlin. NBA stars are watching too. They say it loud. Clark is reshaping basketball culture. Time magazine named her Athlete of the Year, alongside names like Simone Biles, Messi, and LeBron. That's elite company, and she's earned it. And through it all, Clark has stayed grounded. Legends who meet her all say the same thing. She's humble, focused, and just loves hooping. Even Shaquille O'Neal, once skeptical, has changed his tune. And that says a lot.